Welcome back to Blue Couch Therapy. Today, we are going to be reading from If Life is a Game, These Are the Rules by Sherry Carter Scott, PhD. Now, the Amazon affiliate link to get a hard copy of the book is going to be available down below in the description. Enjoy the read-alongs with me. I do encourage you guys to get physical hard copies of the books just because somebody literally had to think about it, write it down, and you get a very different feeling being able to touch the words as you read them. Without further ado, let's jump right into it, man. Introduction. Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood. Helen Keller. Life has often been compared to a game. We are never told the rules, unfortunately, nor given any instructions about how to play. We simply begin at go and make our way around the board, hoping we play the game right. We don't exactly know the objective of the game, nor what it means to actually win. That is what 10 Rules of Being Human is all about. These are the guidelines to playing the game we call life. But they are also much more than that. These rules will provide you with the basic spiritual parameters for what it means to be human. They are universal truths that everyone inherently knows but has forgotten somewhere along the way. They form a foundation of how we can live a fulfilling and meaningful life. I'm in. Each rule represents its own challenges, which in turn provides certain lessons we all need to learn. Lessons are what we learn when we come against problems that need to be solved and issues that need to be exercised. Every person on the planet has his or her own set of lessons that are separate and unique from everybody else's. And these lessons, as you will see in Rule 4, will reappear until they are mastered. The 10 rules of human beings are not magic, nor do they promise 10 easy steps for serenity. They offer no quick fix for emotional or spiritual alignment, and they are not a fast-track secret to enlightenment. Their only purpose is to give you a roadmap to follow as you travel your path to spiritual growth. I can dig it. These rules are not the oppressive rules and regulations that tell us what we can and cannot do, think, or say. These rules are not mandates, but rather guidelines as to how to play the game. There is nothing you absolutely must do. I hope this book will help you to become more aware of them. By learning the valuable lessons of wisdom they offer, your journey on this earth might just be a little bit easier. Rule number 1, you will receive a body. You can love it, you can hate it, but it'll be yours for the duration of your life on earth. The moment you arrived here on earth, you were given a body in which to house your spiritual essence. The real you is stored inside all your hopes, your dreams, your fears, your thoughts, expectations, beliefs that make you the unique human being that you are. Though you will travel through this entire lifetime together, you and your body will always remain two separate and distinct entities. I think that's interesting. So basically, I do believe that the body is not all we are. We are more than our physical bodies. We are way more than our physical bodies. We are not humans trying to have a spiritual experience. We are spirits having a human experience. That's the way I see it. The purpose of this body is to act as a buffer between you and the outside world, the reality, as to transport you through this game we call life. It also acts as a teacher of some of the initial and fundamental lessons about being human. If you're open to all the lessons and the gifts your body has to offer you, it can impart to you valuable bits of wisdom and grace that will guide you along your path to spiritual evolution. It can provide you with the basic knowledge and understanding you'll need to be grounded within it before you can progress onward on your journey. The body you are given will be yours for the duration of your time here. Love it or hate it, accept it or reject it, it's the only one you will have in this lifetime. It will be with you from the moment you draw your first breath to the last beat of your heart. Since there is no refunds, no exchange policy on this body of yours, it is essential that you learn to transform your body from a mere vessel into a beloved partner and lifelong ally. As the relationship between you and your body is the most fundamental and important relationship of your lifetime. It's the blueprint for which you and all your other relationships will be built. That's so true. If you don't like your body, if you hate the position that you're in physically, you're gonna have a bad time. Love your body. Literally love your body. It's the best thing that you're ever going to experience in this lifetime. Love your body. We each have a different relationship with our body. You may think yours is a custom designed house, ideally suited for your spirit and your soul, or you may feel that your body is not well matched for your essence, thus trapping you in an ill-fitting cage. Perhaps you have a strong connection with your body and you feel that you have an easy, satisfying, and familiar bond with it. You may be uncomfortable with your body and feel that you would like it to be different, stronger, thinner, healthier, more attractive, less clumsy. Or perhaps you feel alienated from it, as if some mistake had been made where your body aligns and you haven't. No matter what you may feel about your body, it is yours, and the relationship you establish with it will have a great deal to do with the quality of the life you experience. So true. The challenge of Rule 1 is to make peace with your body so that it can effectively serve its purpose and share its valuable lessons of acceptance, self-esteem, respect, and pleasure. Everybody must learn this basic principle before he or she is able to journey successfully through life. You have to learn to love your body the best way that you can, because that's the only one you got. Acceptance. I find that when we really love and accept and approve of ourselves exactly the way we are, then everything in life works. Louise Hay. If you are one of the rare and fortunate people who already experience your body as a perfect exactly as it is, thank you. With all its foibles and strengths, foibles, F-O-I-B-L-E-S, and strengths, then you have already embraced the lesson of acceptance and can fast forward to the next lesson. However, if any small part of you believes that you'd be happier if you were thinner, taller, larger, firmer, bolder, stronger, or some other physical alteration you think would magically transform your life for the better, then you might want to spend some time learning about the value of true acceptance. Acceptance is the act of embracing what life presents to you with a good attitude. Our bodies are among the most willing and wise teachers of this lesson. Unless you spend a large percentage of your time engaging in outer body experiences, I practice those as well too, and we can delve deeper into those if you wish. Your body shows up wherever you are. Wherever you are, there you are. It can be like an ever-present, benevolent guide or a lifelong cross you bear. The decision is yours based on how well you learn this lesson. For many people, their body is a target for their harshest judgment and the barometer for which they measure their self-worth. They hold themselves up to an unattainable standard and berate themselves for coming up short of perfection. Since your physical shape is the form in which you show up to the world, it is very often the way that you define yourself, and often the way others will define you. The way you view your body is directly related to how close you are to learning the lesson of acceptance. Interesting. I'll read that one again. The way you view your body is directly related to how close you are to learning the lesson of acceptance. So the more we accept our bodies, the greater we will be able to accept things and different challenges in our lives. Fire. Imposing harsh judgments on your body limits the range of experiences you allow yourself to enjoy. I'll read that one again. Imposing harsh judgments on your body limits the range of experiences you can allow yourself to enjoy. How many times has a potential wonderful day at the beach been tainted by your judgment of how you look in your bathing suit? Oh, I remember those days. You can't even go to the pool. You wear your t-shirt to go to the pool because you're embarrassed about the way you look. And then people are not even paying attention to you. So sad. Imagine how liberating it would be to happily walk across the warm sand without feeling self-conscious. Think of all the activities in your life that have deferred you until you look different, better, or perhaps perfect. I have a friend who dreams of learning how to scuba dive, but refuses to even try because she worries about how she will look swaddled in her tight rubber wetsuit. Dang, even sounds fire. Complete self-acceptance would allow her and you to fully participate in all aspects of life without reservation, immediately. Enjoy life now. Enjoy life today. You don't have to wait until 15 years in the future for you to secure this bag and talk to this girl or talk to this guy or meet me or whatever you're waiting for. Start today. Love yourself, love your body, and enjoy it. Because literally you're going to just be upset in 45 years when you look back and you think to yourself, wow, I really was not looking that bad all them times ago, all them years ago. So, like many women I know, I spent years preoccupied with the thought, with my thighs. Now they're skinny. I used to always be self-conscious about my thighs and my thighs and my arms especially. Like many women I know, I spent years preoccupied with my thighs. I didn't just want them to be thinner, I was actually engaging in a private war with them. I wore the longest Bermuda shorts I could find, even on the hottest summer days, too embarrassed to expose them. Which is so interesting because, ladies, I love thighs. This is a story for another day. I was convinced that my life would be enhanced if my thighs were firm and tight and didn't jiggle. We love the jiggle. We love the jiggle anyways. Fellas will tell you. Fellas, comment down below if you love the jiggle because I know I do. I wanted my thighs to cooperate with my agenda of how it was supposed to look. I had disowned them, so of course they reciprocated and stubbornly refused to magically transform themselves into taut, supple, whirly limbs. Suffice it to say, my thighs and I were not peacefully coexisting. I finally decided to put an end to this cold war by vowing to learn to love my thighs. This was easier said than done. It was easier to love the parts of yourself that you were already perceived as lovable, but far more difficult to give up your belief of how you should look. I decided to spend a few minutes every day giving positive attention to my perceived enemy. Every day, I massaged rich, vanilla-scented lotion into them, and as I did, I concentrated on sending the mental messages of partial, then complete acceptance. For the first few weeks, I felt ridiculous, but eventually I got over that. I still didn't look forward to seeing my thighs exposed in the harsh bathroom light every morning, but at least I didn't immediately cover them with a towel, so as to conceal them from my own eyes. That's progress. As time passed, I actually did begin to appreciate my thighs for their strength and reliability. I gratefully acknowledged the support they gave to me and their ability to sustain me on a daily 3-mile run. Much to my delight, they responded in kind and began to cooperate by firming up. That's how it goes. The key here, however, was not that they changed in order for me to accept them. It was because I accepted them that they eventually aligned with my wishes. Guys, this is so true. I've experienced this personally with my weight loss journey. You literally can think yourself thin. You can think yourself healthy. You can think yourself in whatever situation or circumstance you desire. Because the funny thing is, it's not just think about it, mumbo jumbo, and then it's gonna come to pass. But you think about it and then you start to take inspired action. You start to accept yourself for who you are. And then all of a sudden you find yourself in a new position. If we just talked about, she said she was rubbing vanilla scented lotion into her thighs, giving partial acceptance, then full acceptance, and then it changed. No guys, I started doing the exact same thing. I literally started to rub myself with coconut oil. When I got out of the shower, I didn't immediately run to hide my body. I would look at my body in the mirror, no matter how I looked, say thank you, you look great, I love the way you look. And then all of a sudden now I find myself stretching, doing push-ups, just randomly, and then people will see me and they're like, Cody, how did you lose so much weight? And I just say, I stopped eating at red zones. So we can talk about that another time. I don't want to get off topic. And just working out, and your body will tell you, your intuition will tell you what you need to do to get to your desired outcome. I guarantee you that. There is much documented proof that the mind and the body are connected. So acceptance of your body is not only essential for your emotional well-being, it is essential for your physical health as well. Denying your body complete acceptance can lead to illness, whereas practicing acceptance can heal diseases. Even the modern medical community now embraces the value of self-acceptance for its power to maintain a healthy mind and body. You know you're moving in the right direction when you can accept your body exactly as it is in present form. True acceptance comes when you can embrace and appreciate your body as it is right now and no longer feel that you need to alter it in any way for somebody's love, especially your own. Does this mean that you should never endeavor to improve your body or that you have been resigned to what you have been given? Of course not. It is perfectly natural and human to want to be your physical best. What this does mean, however, is that you need to stop criticizing, judging, or finding fault with your body even when you're not in the healthiest or most attractive state. The drive for self-improvement is completely healthy as long as it comes from a place of self-love rather than a place of feeling inadequate. The question to ask yourself when you want to be more sure of the source of your desire for a new hairstyle or more sculpted biceps is, do I feel like I need this body shape or hair color or wrinkle cream or wardrobe to make me happy? If the answer is yes, and be honest with yourself. You can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourself. You might want to spend some time working internally on the lesson of self-acceptance before you spend time and money searching for external solutions. I frequently tell my clients and my students, I love all the parts of yourself, to love all the parts of yourself, and if you can't change them, if you can't love them, change them. If you can't change them, accept them for the way that they are. That's a powerful message in and of itself. I'll read that one again. Love all the parts of yourself, and if you can't love them, change them. If you can't change them, then accept them as they are. As you grow and you age, your body will present you with some very challenging things that you simply cannot change. As the extreme end of the spectrum, you may be afflicted with a physical disability or a debilitating disease or some other physical ailment that makes your body that much harder to accept. But still accept it, you must, no matter how insurmountable the task may seem. The Special Olympics are filled with people who have accepted their bodies despite obvious handicaps. How can you begin to learn the lesson of acceptance? By recognizing that what is just is, and that the key to unlocking the prison of self-judgment lies in your own mind. Guys, we talk about this every day. You can either continue to fight against your body's reality by complaining bitterly and immersing yourself in self-deprecation, or you can make the very subtle but powerful mental shift into acceptance. Either way, the reality remains the same. Acceptance or rejection of your body only carries weight in your mind. Your perception has no bearing on how your body actually looks. So why not choose the ease of acceptance rather than the pain of rejection? The choice is yours. What are you not accepting about your body? Self-esteem. Nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. Self-esteem is feeling worthy and being able to meet life's challenges. It is as essential as the air we breathe, and just as intangible. It comes from the depths of our own core, yet it is reflected in every single outward action we take, big or small. It's the essence from which we measure our worth and the most important building block of the foundation of our psyches. If self-esteem is a lesson that you need to learn, you will be tested over and over and over until you're confident about who you are and understand the belief in your intrinsic value. Your body may provide you with enough opportunities to work on this lesson throughout your entire lifetime. Your body may teach you the lesson of self-esteem by testing your willingness to view yourself as worthy, regardless of how you look or how your body performs. A friend of mine is a public speaker who has 2 major accidents in his life. First was a motorcycle accident that set 90% of his body on fire. Jeez. And then several years later, a small plane crash broke his back and put him in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Through many years of hard inner work, he came to realize that in spite of his circumstances, he could live a fulfilled life as long as he approached it with the right attitude. Rather than dwelling on all things he could not do, he now focuses on the things that he can do. His life's work is to inspire audiences with what he calls, "It's not what happens to you, it's what you do about it." That is a bar. He demonstrates on a daily basis that he is able to meet life's challenges, and that he is worthy of happiness despite severe physical shortcomings. The process of building self-esteem is threefold. The first step is identifying what stands in your way. By acknowledging the limiting beliefs that you have about yourself, you can then move into the second step, to search your soul for a deeper core connection with who you really are. The third step is to take action, whether that means valuing yourself just as you are or making a positive change. Throughout her life, my friend Helen has been a strikingly attractive woman. She used to have a gorgeous white blonde hair, which just juxtaposed against her sun-bronzed skin, made heads turn when she entered the room. Helen's external identity was based on her arresting coloring, and so she maintained a deep tan year-round by spending many hours baking in the sun. When Helen was in her late 40s, she was diagnosed with skin cancer. She had to undergo surgery on her face, which left a small scar, and she was no longer permitted to sunbathe. To Helen, the scar was a minimal concern compared to the fact that she would no longer be bronze beauty she identified with. Without her trademark tan, Helen would have to dye her hair back to the original brown to avoid looking washed out. Helen's self-esteem plummeted, and she struggled to accept the loss of what she had been, her look, all these years. She needed to let go of her former image she had of herself. It took Helen close to a year to repair her self-image. She needed to identify that she was measuring her worth by her external appearance, which had been that of the tanned blonde. Through many months of hard work, she was able to reconnect with the core. She was able to reconnect with the core of who she is and realize that the belief was holding her back from feeling good about herself again. It is now several years later, and Helen's scar is barely noticeable. She has returned to her natural color now and lovely brown hair and ivory skin. Sometimes when she looks in the mirror, she needs to remind herself of her inherent worth by connecting to her inner source, her spiritual essence. Source, inner source, guys. We are source. She realized that her true inner self will be with her for the rest of her life, while looks can change and they can fade, ultimately being an unreliable source of self-esteem. Agreed. Your looks are a very unreliable source of self-esteem. Remind yourself often that self-esteem is imperial, Remind yourself often that self-esteem is ephemeral. You will have it, you will lose it, you will cultivate it, you will nurture it, and be forced to rebuild it over and over again. It's not something to be achieved and preserved, but rather a lifelong process to be explored and cultivated. Where do the feelings of worthiness stem from? Search to discover the pathway to that source, for you will need to revisit that source again and again throughout your lifetime. When you can easily find your way into the core of your essential value, then you know you have learned this lesson. Respect. Your body is the vehicle of life. As long as you're here, live in it, love it, honor it, respect it, cherish it, treat it well, and it will always serve you in kind. Susie Purdon. To respect your body means to hold it in high regard and honor it. Respect is treating your body with the same care you would give any other valuable or irreplaceable object. Learning to respect your body is vital. When you respect your body, you're in a partnership with it. You become grounded in your physical body and able to benefit from all it has to offer you. Respect carries reciprocal energy. Your body will honor you when you honor it. Treat your body as a structure worthy of respect, and it will respond in kind. Abuse and ignore it, and it will break down the various ways until you learn the lesson of respect. I know a man named Gordon who views his body as a sacred temple. Besides keeping it extremely fit through regular exercise and sports, he maintains excellent health by always caring for it diligently. He eats only healthy foods, would never dream of going out in the cold, improperly dressed, and generally treats his body as a valuable treasure. As a result, all of the love he gives it, the body never fails him. He is almost always at optimal performance. His body is his beloved partner and ready to do whatever he needs it to do. Of course, each person is different. It could be considered a big stretch for anyone else to maintain this level of attentiveness to their body. Every person's body has a specific formula that works for them. It's your responsibility to become acquainted with your formula and your body's individual requirements. No one diet works for everyone, nor does anyone's sleep or exercise regimen. True respect comes from learning what your body needs to run at optimum performance and then making the commitment to honoring those needs. At the opposite end of the respect spectrum is Travis, a 29-year-old diabetic who refused to take his disease seriously. Travis is a wealthy, handsome jet setter who loved living in the fast lane. He indulged often in vodka martinis, stayed out frequently, ate red meat, rich, sugary desserts, and eventually became addicted to cocaine. Despite his doctor's warnings, Travis refused to change any of his unhealthy behaviors. He would not accept that his illness made his body require different forms, different from that of his friends. The downward spiral continued for months, prepped with severe bouts of illness until one day Travis crashed. A friend found him collapsed on the bathroom floor and intervened, saving his life. Travis' lesson of respect was learned at a painful price, but he finally moved through the denial, neglect, and abuse and learned to honor his body's specific needs and uniqueness. As Travis illustrates, learning to respect your body is challenging in a world filled with excess and temptation. Going along with the group and indulging yourself is sometimes a lot easier than respecting your boundaries. Indulging yourself now and then is fine. In fact, at times it's even healthy, as long as you're not compromising your own special requirements. If you know spicy food makes you sick, but you love it anyways, how many times do you need to indulge in it and compromise your body's truth before you learn to respect its limitations? Not too many, I hope, for your own sake. Treat your body with deference. Treat your body with deference and respect, and it will respond to you accordingly. Listen to your body and its wisdom, and it will tell you what it needs. If you ask, listen, take heed. Pleasure. It ain't no sin. It ain't no sin to be glad you're alive. Bruce Springsteen. Pleasure is a physical manifestation of joy. Your body teaches you pleasure through your 5 senses. When you indulge in any spontaneous behavior or physical sensation that unlocks the joy stored within you, you create space in your consciousness for pleasure. Your body can be one of the greatest sources of pleasure when you open up your 5 senses fully and experience the physical wonders of being alive. Pleasure can come in all forms, sights, like when you see a magnificent sunset, or taste, like when you eat your favorite food. It can come as a glorious musical sound, soft touch of a lover. The only secret to learning the lesson of pleasure is to make time and space for it in your life. How much pleasure will you allow yourself? Many people have an invisible quota in their minds for the amount of joy that they will permit themselves to experience. They become so busy living life that they view pleasure as a luxury they simply do not have the time for. Things like lovemaking, things like lovemaking or playing take a back seat to the everyday motion of living. However, your life simply will not work as well when you deny yourself pleasure. The old adage of all work and no play makes you dull is quite true. You may find yourself living a rather colorless life if you do not pause every now and again to indulge in your senses. Pleasure is like the oil that keeps the machine running smoothly. Without it, the gears stick and you will most likely break down. Sometimes I forget the importance of pleasure as I race through the demands and the commitments of my life. I forego a day at the beach with my husband in order to finish a project, or I cancel my appointment for a massage so I can take care of some errands. Inevitably, I begin to feel irritable and tense, which is a signal to me that I need to slow down and let in a little more joy. I had a man in one of my workshops named Bill who desperately needed to learn the lesson of pleasure. Bill was a very successful financial consultant at a large bank, and he had a wife with 3 children, he had a mortgage, an elderly mother, 2 cars, and plenty of bills to go on top of that. Ordinarily, a serious person, Bill had become particularly austere in his demeanor as he grimly set about performing his task and managing his busy life. As he put it, simply did not have the time to waste on fun. Yet Bill's life was not working. A deep dissatisfaction haunted him every day, and he didn't know how to dislodge it. He came to the workshop to figure out how to change the grind he had put himself into. In the workshop, he realized that he had not allowed himself a single moment of pleasure for many years. Bill remembered the day when his dad died, when little Billy was only 11 years old. His uncle told him that he would have to step up to be the man of the family. You see, that's where they get you, man. On that day, Billy metamorphosized from a carefree child to Bill, a mature, responsible little adult. When we did an exercise in the workshop in which everybody was to act upon their inner impulse, Bill stood up, loosened up his tie, much to everyone's surprise and delightment, and started to skip around the room. Aww. He started slowly, then skipped faster and faster until he was whizzing by us in a blur. When he finally came to a stop, he was breathless and smiling, obviously thrilled to have unlocked the joy stored in his cellular memory. What brings you pleasure? Do it, and do it often, for it will give you the lightness in your heart to do wonders for your soul. Well, what brings me pleasure is walking. Funnily enough, guys, that's where I'm headed now. This concludes the reading of chapter 1. This concludes the reading of chapter 1 of If Life is a Game, These Are the Rules. I hope you've enjoyed this so far. We are going to be breaking down the rest of this book in a later episode. So continue to stay with us. Enjoy, have fun, guys. I love reading these books with you guys. I hope you're enjoying them as well too. Like the video, comment, share your thoughts, share this with a friend. Share this with a friend who you feel you could use the rules to the game of life. Let's grow. Subscribe to the channel and let's grow this family and let's grow this community. Until next time, love you all. I am out.